March, baby.
Yo,
We
dude.
got a bracket. We've got live lines already on a few sports books. What is up, Justin?
Good afternoon, Mike. Good afternoon, everybody. I mean, dude, it is go time. We just got to watch that selection show. We're going to talk about everything under the sun. We're going to tell you guys what we think about the selection committee's choices. We saw a lot of reaction already to Tennessee in the 3 seed, not getting any bump for their success today. Kind of just showing. I was retweeting it a little bit. They're just not showing. They're not caring about these Sunday games. Are they caring about these Saturday games even? I don't know. They're still great games, but this is crazy, man. They should be a 2 seed, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what you said because Chief was barking. Which team are you talking about? Tennessee?
Okay. Yeah, Tennessee. Obviously, the big Tennessee quandary right now.
Yeah,
in
not
that
only
South
did they
region, it's
get
going to be nuts.
screwed a little bit by getting a 3 seed instead of a 2, they are in a ridiculous region. That region is just absolutely brutal. We will talk about it. We'll look at some of these opening lines for it, but man, that region.
I got to put the camera low tonight because I'm literally going to be staring at my computer the entire time. So I got to put it in front of my screen, or else you guys are going to think I'm like looking below you the whole night. So yeah, I'm literally going to be doing research. We're going to be talking a little bit about each game, each matchup, what we'd like about each team. As Sean's saying, opening lines, mad interesting, man. Let's get a little bit to this. Mike was watching NASCAR. That is what he is literally looking off at, Greener. So you're not wrong at all.
Oh, no, I'm not watching NASCAR right now. Well, it's over here on this screen.
Okay.
This screen is
Okay.
all college basketball.
Nice.
We've got 4 screens fired up right now, so we are
good. Yeah. Let's do it, baby. It's snowing here in New York. It's cold outside. All I have to do tonight is run 36 college basketball games. So we're gonna get plays, I think, as soon as lines open. Pretty much, I'm thinking probably handicapping them myself, just getting out what I think is gonna happen. We already have Tuesday's matchups. Oh man, this is going to be awesome.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful here. And I will have my official bracket over on Sportsline probably within the next 30 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
That is how quickly I will run through it and lock it in. Obviously, I'll be playing multiple brackets, and throughout the week, we will have some streams. And I say throughout the week, throughout the next like 72 hours, basically, we will have streams and go over some bracket pool, game theory, those kind of things. But I will be, for Sportsline, I will mostly be uploading my optimal bracket from the model for bracket number 1, at least. And then we'll get into some of the game theory, because in Tennessee, we get to play a ton of the bracket contests. DK has the bracket millionaire, 20 max entry. I'm putting 10 in for sure, maybe 20. Maybe CC, my girlfriend, wants to put in 20 also. Maybe we will run 40 from the models. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll think about it.
Maybe I'll come visit in 20 hours and we'll run another 20. No, I wish. I'm going to be actually traveling Wednesday, and I'm going out to see one of my good friends for March Madness. We'll be in LA for the whole weekend, streaming everything there. It's not going to change anything. It's just going to be chilling with some buddies with the games on in the background. So you get some good crowd noise, at least, while I'm in LA this week. But nonetheless, yeah, we got lines out already. We got, the first 4, only one of them has a line. I don't know if we want to start here or if we're going to wait.
Which one is that? Is that Indiana game? Is that what you're looking at?
No, Bryant, Wright State, I'm seeing a line.
Okay.
You have an Indiana, Wyoming line?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I have a line for all 4 of them.
3.5.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. It was just loading a little slow. All right, let's see what we got. Let's go. DraftKings has this?
Yeah, DraftKings has everything up right now. Obviously, they're probably very low limits. I haven't bet anything yet, but they are up. And the first one is Indiana and Wyoming.
All right. Noon on Tuesday, baby. That is bright and early. We're gonna have. I think we're probably gonna have a Sportsline early edge there. So
where's the location of this game? Do you know?
Dayton. All the first 4 is in Dayton.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. So I can tell you, Indiana, and I'm running numbers briefly from that.
Man, this is a game, dude. This is a game. Indiana made that run and still gets put in the first 4.
Yep. I can tell you there's a slight model edge on Indiana -3.5 as well. First number, and this one comes in at -5.7. For Indiana. It is not grading out as a true neutral site game. It's grading out as a neutral site home game for Indiana.
Indiana. Oh
We
yeah,
fully expect
definitely.
them to travel well to Dayton versus the Wyoming school in the crowd. So it's not going to be treated like that. It is essentially, I will say, it is essentially priced as if it's truly neutral site, which
And
is
it's not.
likely what these
Yeah.
models are spitting out right now for the first 30
Mm-hmm.
minutes. It's going to be just a blind neutral number.
Yeah.
I don't think this game can be treated as that. I didn't treat it as it, and that's essentially where the 1.6 points, or I mean, the 2.6 points is essentially coming from. But
I
I would
agree.
fully expect this line to close 5.
I really like it actually. I wonder how fast we can start getting them up on sports.
Yeah, we'll see.
They'll probably be ready in an hour, right? It takes like 30 minutes or so to get in.
Yeah, I think we'll have stuff up on Sportsline pretty soon. Let me look and see how quickly.
I'm talking about getting picks into the system, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
I want to
I'm gonna actually
see
check
how
now.
quickly that'll be there. It'll be there tonight for sure, but it is
Oh
the
yeah, I
schedule is
think within
being,
an hour,
yeah.
right? Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna post the moment I can. That's for sure. So, because
Let's
you
see.
got a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
check
lines, guys.
really quickly before we
I'm
get any
checking right now.
further because let's see basketball. Yeah, nothing yet, but I'll leave that screen up for you.
Yep,
You
nothing
want to
for
hit
me
the
either.
other playing games quickly, or do you just want to pull up a region and go through the region? Obviously, drop
Ooh,
questions
I
if you
don't
have
know.
them. How do you guys want to handle it? I just
Yeah, I
Indiana
guess.
Wyoming was the most compelling playing game to me personally on like out of those first two. But now that I see
Mhm.
that the others are up as well, we obviously have to talk Notre Dame Rutgers. Like that's the
Yeah. That's a crazy game. What isn't this whole bracket is going to be absolutely nuts. I mean, this is even compared to last year. I think I'm just that much more in tune with these teams right now, and so some of these matchups crazy. But all right, we want to just do a region. I'll pull up the bracket really quick. You want to
Yeah, we
start
could
with?
pull up the region. I will say out of the other ones, the early edge is definitely on Indiana. I don't see any value on the
But
Rutgers. I think the Rutgers game is priced very appropriately.
did you mean to use the phrase "the early edge" in on purpose?
Yeah, I
Nice.
don't know.
All right. Okay. So yeah, let's pull up. Let's start with the. What do you think? The West, the South, the what? Like let's get. What do you think? What do you think? Come on, choose
You
for
can
me,
pull
Mike.
up whatever you want. I want to answer the question
All
in the
right.
chat because it's a great question. The
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sportsline model on the Sportsline bracket is the Sportsline model, not my sims. They are totally different simulations. But the good news is my bracket on the site will be 100% from my simulations. So that will hopefully clear up some of that confusion there. I might submit a second bracket that uses a little more game theory where I'm trying to actually really go in and make decisions based on where the public is coming in. But my initial bracket will be truly optimal exactly from my simulations, which is the same thing that the Sportsline model will be doing on the Sportsline bracket, but they will
Right.
not be the same. There will be obviously a ton of overlap, but they will not be the same.
Right. All right. Well, I pulled a bit of the East because East Coast. What's up? So let's start with this Baylor Norfolk matchup. This 116 seed. I gotta go find the line. Unfortunately, because I still don't have like my dual monitors and everything set up yet, which is all
Yeah.
coming in the next couple weeks. Very excited about that. By the time we get to the second round,
20 and a half is the
Norfolk was
line on it currently.
okay. Wow. No, you gotta. I think you. Wow, what? 20 and a half. I think that's going to be too big. I think that's probably going to be too big. Just there, they can keep a game within 20 against this Baylor team. This is going to be so interesting, right? Because it's still March. The game being played isn't about like, oh, can you score 22? It's can you win the game? Can you move on? Like what's to say that Baylor really comes out there and pushes hard? And I think there's just such a real discrepancy with that in terms of like the reality of the situation versus what you're actually betting on, right? That it just starts to make too much sense to take big numbers on like just a principle in this time of the year, right?
Yeah.
Like the game is to win, and you get 21 and a half points on FanDuel. Do I believe Baylor is the weakest number one with what Gonzaga and Arizona? Arizona and Baylor probably. I feel like Arizona has its shakiness to it, but maybe that's just because I'm not like a big West Coast guy. I definitely have capped the West Coast less because those games are so late and I don't watch
So
enough of them. But I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you after looking through this and all the others, my model basically gets really close to market at a lot of times. Everything that's out opening line wise right now is literally straight up, no shading for home or away. It's
Right.
literally neutral. So
Hmm.
you can pick off some great values when you sort through them. So all I was saying is
That's
maybe
smart.
we don't need to spend a ton of time on 1 versus 16s, just
Okay,
because
sure.
in bracket sense we're all picking ones over 16s. There
Right.
is
Fine.
interesting opportunities for it.
Bracket
Anytime you
sense.
get this Baylor
I
team,
gotta like get into bracket sense because I swear to God, man, I am
right?
literally all just like cover, 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 spreads, cover. Like so, yes. Let me start to
But yeah,
think
to answer,
a
it's
little
dead
money
on at
wise.
21 and is where the
Okay.
simulation makes it.
Okay.
Baylor's had some injury concerns throughout the year. They still do a little bit heading into the tournament. Definitely a great spot for them to rest a little bit and still get the win. So I do kind of lean towards Norfolk.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
But all right,
it's
let's
not a
think about some
situation where there's just
locations.
obvious glaring value on it, in my opinion.
Do we want to start looking into maybe like the locations here a little bit on these games and try to pick out some value that way? Or what do you think you want to do?
We can still go back to the region we were at. Let's hit the 8, 9, 7, 10s, those
Okay.
kind of things.
Yeah. Sure.
Because those are the games where you're going to find sources of value pretty quickly that are, um,
Sounds like a plan to me. All right, let's
yeah,
go back down here to this East Coast region. All right, so what do we think about this 8-9 matchup with North Carolina and Marquette?
yeah.
So this is an interesting
Let's
one. North Carolina obviously like looked decent, or maybe a little better than the average team in the ACC conference tournament there, playing in Brooklyn. Now, but that's New York City. I mean, do you have to take into account they were just playing in front of a New York City crowd in the Barclays, which I guess is a lot different than the Mecca. But I don't know. I
is
like
this
this Marquette
is
team.
this regional at Madison Square Garden?
No, I do not think so. I am looking
Uh,
up the locations now because there's a lot of locations. I should
yeah.
have taken the
This is
that
in.
down.
Wait, where?
I know, impossible to find.
Sorry, guys. Well, let me
Usually
get.
Friday.
Yeah, it's -3.5 on DraftKings, -3 there. I'm trying to find.
I have all the locations out now. So this is. Oh wait, what the hell? This is difficult because we're trying to get everything in it right here. Um, which day are they playing? I wish I could get this all quickly, but it's not easy to do. Marquette clearly playing on Thursday. If anybody wondering, Marquette is playing in Fort Worth, Texas, against North Carolina. That part of this part of the bracket's in Fort Worth. That's going to be a big travel spot for Baylor. I know you really want to talk about the ones, Mike, but that's a big. I mean, it's in Texas versus Norfolk State. So
Yeah, I'm not too
yeah,
worried about it. But this, let me. Sorry, I'm very distracted. I think we have some stuff up on Sportsline as well.
okay, I can pull that up.
Let's see. I don't know if it's still last year's bracket or not.
Does it have locations on it? Whatever. I mean, you guys obviously in the chat can help. We're about as useless as anybody else.
Yeah, that's an
So
old bracket. That's last year.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing up here. Okay, they'll like if you click brackets, yeah, it has the optimal bracket, and those are not the proper seeds because Michigan is not a number one. But anyway, we will wait for that to come out before we start showing that. You just got a text saying it's up. Interesting. Well, I'm seeing not the right thing. So let's just talk about some of the games in this region then. North Carolina Marquette looks to be an interesting one here. Times are still to be determined. So, I mean, I don't know if we want to read into like start times, when they're going to play, but this is going to be a pretty big game for that first day on Thursday. This is tough. This is a tough one here. I wonder if our trusty boy, how fast Ken gets his stuff up, how fast those people have their models update. Because I know it's not easy, right? Like you running this, it's not. You got to get. Yeah, there's nothing on Ken Palm.
Yeah. So the initial run, there's a little value on Marquette. My
Mhm.
model has been a little higher on Marquette than
Yes.
others throughout the season, typically by 1.5 points or so, which is basically what I'm showing right now, which makes a ton of sense with what we've seen. We've seen that these opening lines are literally dead on what those efficiency numbers are. And they're split with no shading at all one way or the other for any sort of home court advantage or disadvantage. I would blindly, like if you made me play this blindly, I would take the 3.5 with Marquette right now, just because the computer says that it should be 1.5 basically.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where it gets bet. That's why I was asking you where the game was on this one. We expect Carolina to essentially travel well, really anywhere that they go at this point.
Definitely.
But yeah, I lean Marquette in it, but it's not a strong play. I need a little bit more information. Let me see.
That's a crazy one. I mean, I think if North Carolina continues to play as well as it did, they could definitely give this Marquette team a problem. But here's the thing. So this is like, you can start to handicap based on, I guess, how much you value the committee's observations on the season. They're clearly giving this Big East a lot of respect. And I'll tell you how I know that. Seton Hall is in this tournament and has a better seed than Marquette. Like, they're an 8, I believe. I could be wrong about that. Where are they? Let me just verify. But I don't think I do think they are an 8. Seton, where the heck are you? What the heck? Are they playing in? No way. Am I going crazy? Are they Wednesday?
Seton Hall,
No.
are you talking about? They play
Yeah.
TCU, 8-9 matchup in the South.
Who's the 8? It's
Seton Hall is the 8. TCU is the 9.
Right. Seton Hall got a better seed than Marquette. And I watched that Seton Hall team play a little bit at the end of the year. I do not like them. So I'm going to be targeting them for an early exit because I just think they're fake good. And I do think this Horned Frogs team for TCU is going to do it. But yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting matchup. Big East, though, and my point is the Big East is getting a lot of value. The committee is valuing this Big East team, this Big East conference. I don't really know if I agree. And I guess this is going to be a big test, right? Anytime you have ACC Big East, it's a big deal. So this is an interesting one. South Dakota State over Providence is definitely going to be a pretty popular upset pick. And I don't hate it because of the shooting. But when we get into like the game theory of it, we're going to talk about if you want to take the popular ones, right? Because technically this might be a better, like if you can get yourself saying, oh, I have like a contrarian like edge essentially on, the I guess it's not like the usage, I guess. Yeah, we use usage for game theory, but the usage on Providence might be lower than expected. And if you can gain an edge on taking the favorite, that might be the better thing to do. But that's some stuff we'll be talking about probably like Monday, Tuesday.
This is one where like 5 to 10 years ago, yes, you would have been there, but there's so much attention on it. There's so much content around it now that, and we've talked about Providence all year being a very lucky team. It's very evident by the line that you see. The line is open for this game, and they're only 2-point favorites over South Dakota State.
Wow.
And I can tell you right now, I am very, very close to betting on Providence -2. This number still should be 4.5 for me.
That's the coach of the year in the Big East. Period. Like,
so while I hate this team, I think they're terrible. They still have a pretty significant talent gap over South Dakota State. And this line is definitely it's going to be such a trendy dog.
What's his name? Nate something. What's his Watson? Nate Watson. Oh man, that's a big boy. He's a big time force down low that I don't think San Diego State is going to have any type of answer for. That is a D1 like physique, if you will, right? Like a power.
That's actually my first play here. I'm going to play. Yeah. I'm checking one more thing before I put it in, but I'm going to play Providence -2.
I love this.
As much as I hate them.
Well, look, let's talk about Providence a little bit, right? They were called like the luckiest team. They had signs up at the game where people were saying, Ken Pom is a fraud. Like literally, you can look it up because Ken Pom was saying they're the luckiest team by a big margin, ranking them outside like the top 40, even though they were like highly ranked and they was highly talked about. Like Mike said, a lot of content around it, right? So you definitely heard about that storyline. But the Big East saw that more as like a testament to how good the coaching is, like the plays that get drawn up. Like they gave the coach of the year for a reason because he got his team wins they probably should have gotten. Like something had to do it. Like the models are going to call it luck because luck to a model is something that cannot be technically explained through the analytics. But they have that X factor. They win a lot of close games. They know how to play in them, and that's exactly what you need for the tournament. And if the books are telling me also that it's a close game, yeah, I mean this is quite the line here, quite the line.
I love it. Timmy's in the Discord already dropping some plays as well. But
Oh man,
yeah, I personally I'll give a freebie obviously to everyone listening there. I just played Providence on DraftKings -2. I think
okay,
that line's going to close 3.5 minimum.
okay. We got the here tag on the Discord too.
Yep.
And Tim dropping some knowledge on him. Interesting looks for Tim. Wow, Richmond is +10.
Yeah. Is there
Man,
anything else in this region we want to talk about? I mean, obviously we can talk
I
about them
don't.
all.
I feel like I literally stopped watching the show and I came on here and I don't know every line like I want to. Like I want to take a look like in depth at these lines. We can none of them have time, so I don't really know how they're organized here. Let me just look at maybe at some of the big matchups we can talk about, maybe some of the closer games and see if we have an edge on that. Like, do you want to go talk about Memphis Boise?
I don't know, but is the chat messing with me, or are we talking? Why are we talking about Tom Brady? What's going on here?
Tom Brady coming out of retirement.
Tom Brady is
I
back to the Bucks.
Is that real?
Apparently,
Cool. That's hilarious.
they saw him
These past
franchise
2 months,
tag.
I've realized my place is still on the field. Here, hold on. And not in the stands. That time will come, but it is not now. I love my teammates and I love my supportive family. They make it all possible. I'm coming back for my 23rd season. Unfinished business. Let's go.
Crazy, absolutely
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
Let me see if I can find the
Here's
Virginia
that.
Tech Texas line.
If anybody wants any proof, Tom Brady coming out of retirement. Brady is back. But Tom, hold on. I got to throw a retweet. Not right now, Tom.
Yeah,
We just got the bracket, bro.
Texas. All right, we might have our second
Hilarious.
play, and it might be another small favorite.
Ooh, who are we looking at? Talk to me.
Actually, maybe not. Wow. I was expecting to have a play on Texas -1 against Virginia Tech.
Okay.
And I might not. I need you to tell me where the game is.
Do you know which date it is? That'll help me be a little faster. Tech? I can
Mm,
find out. You don't know what date it is. All
it's
right.
in that
I mean,
same
it's
region
probably
you
on
were just
Friday.
watching. It's in the same
Okay.
region you were just on.
Then it's got to be. Oh well, that doesn't mean anything. It's at Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay. Texas -1. Let's see.
That's really weird. That's the East playing in Wisconsin. I mean, sure. You know what? Whatever. We'll let Xavier and
Okay,
Creighton
there's
come and
a
call themselves Big
slight.
East too.
I make it 2.5 on that one. Not sure how much I love it, but I do make Texas -2.5. They're currently -1 on DraftKings.
Okay. Wow, that's a tough one. I got to dig deep into like what those teams are good at and how they're going to match up and what their players are like. Like I'm going to be very hesitant to really give out plays because you are like you've always been like pure numbers, Mike. But I've
Of
sort of
course.
started actually using all these hours I spend watching basketball to help me understand the numbers too. And it's been working. I mean, we're running hot. It's been a great week. Anybody who's been tailing probably pretty happy. Another 2-0 day on Sportsline. But yeah, no, Tom Brady can't help me unless I get into my details. But no, yeah, I think that's an interesting one. I definitely think that Virginia Tech has, had this awesome run, but
Yep.
Texas away from home has definitely struggled a bit. Definitely a vulnerable 6. I mean, are you talking about an upset? Like, what's the line? You said it was what, 1.5?
1. Texas -1.
1. Dude, that is, man. Yeah, I think Texas -1 is a great bet.
I make them 2.5 on this initial run.
Man, I just think that's you got to be betting against recency bias hard right now. Like, you just have to, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
everywhere.
it's absolutely absurd though on this game. Actually, I would obviously at this point you're not going to get any totals. They would just get absolutely
No,
crushed if they put totals up at this point. So
no, of
that's why we're
course
not
not.
talking about them. But
Yeah.
the total on this
Well, they
game is
get
going to be like
crushed to the
20.
$25 limit.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you
The
have?
total in this game is going to be very low. These two teams
Oh
play
yeah,
with an absolutely absurdly slow pace of play.
they do.
Yeah.
Let's
So
go. Nice little future on Tampa Bay at 2,500. That's sick.
there you
Scheduled
go.
tweet from Brady. Yeah, let's be. No,
Probably.
I think.
Probably.
I
All
mean,
right, we
definitely
can
use
move
it
on
as a
from that
feature.
game, but circle that one if you're watching, or if you. I know many of you have probably already bet it,
I
but
mean, there's so
um,
many. There's so many good games.
I do make Texas
Wow.
-2.5.
I like that. I mean, I think I like that bet a lot too, just off the cuff. I don't really understand how a team like Texas is only going to get one against Virginia Tech unless somebody's like really taking that ACC championship into the account. But you want to know what? You want to know what you need to take into account that there might not be, that the squares might not be, is that that game yesterday was played after like 4 games straight. These teams have been playing all day, every day, back to back days. Now everybody gets to go chill and rest for 4 days. Get ready, get prepared. Teams are different when they're well rested. You're more susceptible to teams like a Virginia Tech doing what they did when you're tired, when you've played back to backs. So I don't know. These first games, I consider kind of fresh legs a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Mike? Do you like the fresh legs aspect of March Madness?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely fresh legs at that point. Definitely helps those teams. Definitely helps the teams that play at a slower pace, like this team. Definitely helps those defensive teams. They can
Yep,
really hang
yep,
their hat on
yep,
that. That's what both of these teams do. Like I said, it's first team to 60 wins this game, right? So
yep.
yeah, I
I
mean,
got to
like I
tell
said,
my mom about Tom
I'm
Brady. Hold
very
on.
confident in my number at -2.5. Like
I
whether
fully
they
agree.
win or
Honestly, I
not,
think your
I'm
number's
confident
light
that they should be a possession favorite.
for sure. I think it should probably be more. I wouldn't be like that's like man, I can't wait till these lines really open up and we can start playing alternates. I think I've like had so many hunches on my favorite plays about like the alt lines and maybe like teasing, like reverse teasing to get positive lines. I would, if I had done that for the last month, I'd be even hotter. You know how bad I wanted to give out Vermont -21 the other day. Like and I didn't, and I want to start doing that. But
Houston
you know,
today.
I don't know. Houston today, yeah, exactly. Oh my god, dude! Like that was so obvious that they were like going to be in line for a potential 10-point win after what happened. They wanted to get him back. Big revenge game, championship revenge game. Like, come on! This was the same Memphis team that was so bad that Penny Hardaway had to start cursing. Don't just remember what happened after. Like, there was a reason that we got to that point, and it showed up today. So cash that one. But all right. Yeah, I mean, that's a good one. What else? What else do you want to talk about?
Let's see.
How do you feel about what? Oh, man, I don't even know
Michigan
what I
State
want to talk about.
Davidson is a pick 'em. That one's interesting.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. That do you feel like that's a bad spot for Michigan State against that shooting, or is it going to be tough for Davidson to find their shot? I mean, clearly, this team can shoot. Shooting translates, and they're not bad on defense, but defense usually is what ends up mattering a little bit more in the tournament. That's a tough one for me, man. Pick'em feels correct, though. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I think this is one where I'm probably going to have a slight lean on Michigan State as well. It obviously doesn't make you feel good because it's what the public would
Yeah.
want and would want to happen
Yes.
in that spot.
Yes.
Um,
Man, that is tough. That's just a bracket pick, basically. Like, all right, who you putting on your bracket? Interesting there from Nicholas in the chat talking about maybe I believe that's a transfer. I mean, you know what's coming, but like you're still not in the film room planning with them. You know, you don't. I mean, you know that it's the same thing as that. I mean, look, it's interesting. Can help them analyze the film. So that's that's.
I have Davidson by one.
Deal. It's a big deal. Oh wow. Okay.
Which is why you run the numbers.
That sounds about right. But that sounds about right to me. Like I think that's the fair line.
Yep. You know what I'm going to do in this spot? I'm going to absolutely stay away from it.
Hell yeah. You watch that game. You put in your bracket. You maybe take Davidson a little more than not game theory wise because you know people are going to take Michigan State. There are just there are a lot of people who literally their only time they pay attention to college basketball is right now. And hey, if that's you, what's up? Welcome. We've been here all year working hard to get this information right. And you coming in here and you're taking the shortcut. Congrats. That's a sharp play. That's nothing wrong with that. But you know what? That's again, you want to separate yourself from that regardless of how long you've been watching. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. I'm going to have a very contrarian bracket that I probably put in on a couple. I'll have my real one. I know everyone's excited about the sports line bracket. We're going to definitely do a Discord bracket challenge. So, I mean, hold on to your wallets because when I win every single one of them, it's going to be rough for y'all.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. I mean, look, it's hard. Brackets are so hard, right? Because you have to like predict like how the teams are going to play over time, not just as though they're all playing a first round game. Like right now we get to bet on the first round, which is great. But I think it really takes skill to figure out those later round matchups. You have to like watch these teams during the season to see how they do on the road and things to understand how they're going to do on these strings of back-to-back games and things. So, I mean,
the potential second round matchup too for Michigan State is Duke. We could have Izzo and Coach K one last time.
Yeah, I don't think that happens. I would take the odds that matchup doesn't come to fruition, just based on it being March. Like everyone wants it to happen, so it just probably won't. Like one of the first of all, I don't think Duke loses. Are they playing Fullerton? Is that correct?
Yeah, they're playing Fullerton. They should be
Fullerton, man, burned me last night. I had 1.5 and they won by 1. I woke up to an L. Hate to see that. But
matchups are super
interesting. Good team. I think they fight too. Wow. I'm going to be taking the points a lot. I'll tell you that right now. It's point season.
Illinois Chattanooga is an interesting matchup we had a question about.
Okay. I like that matchup a lot. What's the line?
7.5 for Illinois.
In Pittsburgh. Nice. Chattanooga mocks, Tennessee, Illinois. I don't know. I don't know how travel is going to look there. My guess is that Illinois travels better, period.
So I can tell you that I like this one a lot.
Interesting.
Illinois is a team that I actually like a lot because it's with Coburn. They present a pretty unique matchup that is hard to simulate for some of these teams.
For sure. For us even.
I mean, yeah, it's hard for us to simulate it, but it's definitely hard for them to simulate it in some of these smaller schools because they just don't see situations like that. The computer really likes Illinois.
I can imagine. I mean, you just have to understand that anybody who can play at his level and at that size just never sees opposition like this. I mean, they do. Like Illinois plays bad teams to open the year, and this is okay. So here's a little bit of some help. If you're interested to like see, if a team maybe stands a chance to cover one of these games, go look at that November schedule. Some teams go up against a gauntlet of really good teams because they want to prepare for something like March. They have big ambitions in their conference. They know that they might have to, play in Illinois. And so they play some Power 5 conference teams early in the year to set the tone for their season. That's usually a good thing. So if they've played big competition, they know how to be in those games a little better than other teams. There's an edge. You can find it.
Yeah. I typed it in the chat, but the initial sim run on that is 10-6. It's up to 8.5 already on FanDuel, 7.5 on DraftKings. Wow. Classic one. I don't anticipate it getting to double digits like that, but I think that game is almost certainly going to close at 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much are these lines moving right now? They're flying.
Not a ton, but I'm scrolling back and forth. Haven't touched a ton of them.
Okay.
Indiana is
You can
still
get
there at 3.5.
Boise's +2 right now, which is interesting. I like that line. I like that Boise team.
The
I
Marquette
mean, we
line is
saw
moving, which is funny because that's one
your
that was
fault.
given out already on Discord with Timmy.
Yeah.
Timmy played that one at 4. It is back to 3 everywhere, and it was when we talked about it here, it had moved to three
I
and
mean,
a
it's a key
half.
number. It's a
But
key number.
yeah,
You got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to go. I
I
literally
think
texted my mom Tom
Houston
Brady news.
UAB
She
just
goes,
moved.
"What?" My
Do what?
mom, my mom loves Tom Brady. Obviously,
Yeah,
whose mom doesn't love Tom Brady?
right.
And and she loves Giselle and all that jazz. And so I texted her. I was like, "Yeah, Brady's back," and she just goes, "What?" So I'm sure she's texting all her friends who love the Patriots and see if they know to try to be like, mom's cloud chase too. Shout out to the moms out there. What up, moms? But all right, we want to talk about some games. So official play so far, we doing Providence -2 still, Mike?
Providence -2 is for me. Yeah. Which is so funny
I
because
mean,
I've
look,
talked
I'm
about
gonna
how
tell
awful
you.
they are all season.
Yeah, that's just a interesting line.
Yeah.
Man, there's so many things out here. All I want to do is just sit here and go through them and play them right now. And I guess
Yeah.
we could do that, but it's tough. It's tough out here. All right. I just placed Providence -2, -115. Not the best line, but I
Oh
have a
man,
feeling it's
I
going to
got
be.
-110. You shouldn't have waited.
You know what? I was filming the show. I
It's
can't
better than
help
paying -3 tomorrow.
you think?
Yeah.
Well, I can cash it out, so I'll do that.
No, I'm saying you're better than paying -3 tomorrow. -3 is what you're gonna have to pay tomorrow. You're still a better price. This
Yeah,
thing's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
close at
Two
3.5.
oh, I misunderstood that. I mean, I totally misunderstood you. Jesus.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. All right. I mean, what else do we want to talk about? I told you, Loyola Chicago -1. No way they were not going to be the favorite here. That's a crazy, crazy line to me. I mean, I just
Yeah,
think it should be
I've got a
bigger.
-2 on DraftKings. Loyola Chicago.
I'm going to grab that here at -1. I'm going to take the money line basically with the push condition. I love that play. Ohio State hasn't looked right, and Loyola Chicago has been a force in this tournament for a while. Thoughts on round robins? I feel like I haven't had time to like really give them their analytic statistical like attack for me. I don't know if you have any analysis on them, Mike.
I mean, I don't play a ton of them. I did years ago. Probably
Mm-hmm.
should more with the modeling that's advanced more. I probably should quite a bit, but
Yeah,
I really haven't dove into them a ton. I want to
yeah. I
talk
have to
about
just.
this Ohio State Loyola Chicago game though, because you talk
Talk to me.
about bracket leverage. Loyola Chicago being favored
Right.
as one of the ultimate all-time tournament darlings out there and
Yes.
being favored at sports books. Talk about the
Bracket
game
buster.
theory aspect of
Oh yeah.
picking Ohio State to win this game.
Yeah, it's a 1 point line. They should have like essentially what like a 57% chance here or so. Like that's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I make this game close to a pick 'em as well. So very interesting. It's funny how far we've like advanced and will continue to
Oh
advance.
yeah,
Because
in the
like
game
literally
theory,
like 3, 4 years ago, this would have been like the other way around. The
Ohio
obvious
State,
game theory
Ohio
play
State,
would have been
Ohio
to
State,
play
Ohio
Loyola
State.
Chicago.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like totally would have. But now
Everything's changed.
totally changed. Next
You
questions
literally like you playing chalk might be contrarian this year
for sure.
because of us just how many people are gonna like be looking just for like the upset is so coveted. Everybody wants to call the upsets. But yeah, what do we think here?
They want to talk about Memphis.
Ooh,
Let
I
me
want
see
to talk
where
about Memphis. I tried to talk about Memphis. I like the +2 with Boise personally. I don't know your thoughts. This feels like I don't know. I don't know. That's a pretty deflating win today. Boise is a hard fighting team out of a tough conference. Beat SDSU, took the trophy home. I mean, I think that's the type of thing it takes. I'm not really going to just discard them at +2. I think they probably should win. I think that's going to be a pick for me for sure. I know +2, man. I know Sean wants Memphis here, but I mean, I've been against Memphis all year. I just don't. They're young, right? They're a tournament. They don't have. They probably feel like they're playing with house money. They probably feel like they're just like young kids here to learn. And they're going up against a Boise team that probably really wants to make some noise here. I like this Boise squad personally. So I don't know. I gotta dive deeper.
Do you
But
have the location of that game for me?
yeah, I got you. It feels like it's on Thursday. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yep, it's in Oregon. Ooh, baby, Portland. That helps.
What time is it?
No times have been determined.
No times have been determined yet?
No times have been determined.
I was wondering if it's like in a later night game.
My guess is it likely will be. That's normally how it goes. They would not give those it's not gonna be a noon tip. I think the earliest.
Right. But I was just curious if it was like first game of the session or last. If we knew that.
Oh, I don't think we do. I mean, we can
don't
look.
yet, I don't think. I'm sure it's out somewhere. It's just not printed on these brackets that I have.
Here's the deal. I think it's probably. It's going to be I think it could very easily be the last one of the night because they might always do it in the same way. It might start Georgia State Gonzaga, this 116. Then might go Akron UCLA, the 13-4. And then it's the play-in game against St. Mary's on the 11-5, right? 12-5. It's a 12-5. Sorry, in that region. And then the last game, I think, of the night might be that Memphis Boise 8-9. I think that might be how it's done. Again, this is yeah. Sean, I appreciate you tailing all those picks, but it's got to happen. I love this Boise team. That's not a bad travel distance. We're talking about traveling. I mean, blue on blue. So Friday, 11 a.m. on FanDuel. Wow. So it has a time. Here's the thing though. They all say that. They actually do have times. Yeah, they do.
Is there a time?
They all. I don't trust them.
Yeah, on DraftKings, every game is listed at noon, 12 p.m.
Yeah, I don't think times are finalized yet. We talked about Brady. Yeah, we know he's stealing a little thunder today, man. We're trying to talk things. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see when times are finalized. And
they probably say 11 for some that are potentially based on where they live. It's probably showing your local time zone. Yeah, that's why it's.
Yeah. I'm Eastern, so noon Eastern. But yeah, the times are not out on ESPN. I assume they will get them pretty quickly. So I'll keep reloading the schedule. But yeah, we'll have to see how it comes out. That's going to be interesting. It's always an X factor. Early morning games are tougher, especially traveling west. So yeah, we'll see.
Very, very tough. That game's really tough to call.
Interesting.
Memphis has such a wide range of outcomes in this tournament.
Dude, Memphis has a wide range of outcomes every time they take the floor, and that's why you can't shy away from betting against them because sometimes you get a result like this, and sometimes you get a result like that. We'll see. Let's see here. What else do we want to talk about? Man, what about?
Yeah, these.
How do you feel? Let's see. What's a good one? They're all so crazy. Do you want to talk about?
I mean, I want to talk about the Midwest. I know we already talked about Providence, South Dakota State, but like Iowa, Richmond is fascinating. San Diego State, Creighton, and then Kansas in that region. Just because if Providence gets we could be seeing Providence and Iowa, in which case I would love Iowa. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting in that region.
I mean, this is going to be crazy. Kansas should obviously roll. I don't know the line. I'm not really going to worry about it. Texas Southern. I feel like Texas Southern probably wins that personally. I don't know where the line is on that yet. I think it was decently small, so I might lean that way. Texas A&M Corpus Christi has been playing well, but Actually, that's tough. Oh man, that's Southland versus SWAC. Oh god, that is going to be one of the harder games to cap. Definitely, that 16 team play-in. But then San Diego State Creighton. What do you think about that? Creighton, who looked pretty nice,
Alexis.
in the Big East. San Diego State with that defense. This feels like a big clash here at this 8-9. I'm very interested to see what your model says on that one. Yeah, and I want to talk about Wisconsin Colgate here too.
Yeah, I'm working on San Diego State and Creighton right now,
Nice.
but I'm very fascinated by this division because it's relatively soft for Kansas.
It is, and this is in Fort Worth, Texas. This game is in San Diego State,
which will be a huge home court advantage for Kansas throughout this division. Huge.
Definitely.
They travel well. Very big footprint in Texas still.
Whereas the pods can be in different parts, right? So yeah, they're in. Right. Oh, that they are part of that pod. Okay, yeah, Dickies, Fort Worth. Nice.
Yeah. Huge Kansas travel spot.
Yeah, 100%. Easy spot travel. They'll be there. Gonna be crazy. I'm just gonna look at the locations. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. Gonzaga, again, 1 seed 16s, but Gonzaga's playing in Portland. Georgia State's probably not going to travel well. Baylor's in Texas. That's nice. Kentucky is playing St. Peter's in Indianapolis.
Huge Kentucky.
Kansas, right? Huge Kentucky. Kansas, like we just said. Tennessee's also in Indianapolis, which against Longwood, which I think should benefit them very well too. Providence in Buffalo, I think helps Providence a lot. Like South Dakota State's going to travel to Buffalo. I just like Providence is going to come out. Providence came out to New York City. They were so loud in the game I saw. Like they were just all over. The crowd was huge. They have a big crowd. This is a big year for them. They are an energized group right now. I love that Providence bet that we got. All right, Akron, UCLA is in Oregon. Probably going to help UCLA a decent amount, but nothing crazy. Vermont, Arkansas in Buffalo too. Man, that's going to help Vermont. That Vermont team. That's going to be interesting.
Man, LSU, Ohio State.
Whew. Oh, Iowa State, you mean?
Yeah, Iowa State, LSU.
Man. What do you even do about that one? I mean, this is Midwest. It's 9.5 right now on FanDuel. So I'm sure
9.5.
Oh no, sorry. I'm seeing that's Iowa Richmond. I looked at Iowa. Sorry, there's two Iowas. The same damn thing. 5.
I was about to place a bet really quickly.
Yeah, 5's very different here. I don't know, man. I think LSU, again, we're going to talk about recency bias so damn much in the next couple days. Like, please bear with me, but understand how important it is and how key it's been to my hot run recently. Like, it's something where I've definitely been looking at because, again, you want to take the side that has the most value in the book, which sometimes isn't even the side that wins. It can sound weird to people if you're new to college basketball betting or any betting. But yeah, I think this is definitely the -5 for me. It's coming down clearly, so I definitely disagree. If you saw 6.5 when it opened, I like that 5 on FanDuel. What do you make it? I think LSU is just be getting slept on. They had a rough end to the year, but Iowa State is like one of these teams that I feel like has this reputation where they're not that great anywhere but home. Let's check where LSU is going to be playing. It looks like this is a Friday game. LSU is in Milwaukee.
Wow. Rough draw.
That's not going to help LSU.
Would have helped them more if they played in Dallas for sure. But
I would say so.
6.5 when it opened. I like Iowa State at 6.5.
Well, then the market beats you, buddy. Sorry.
I have so I have this game at 3.9, basically 4. Very tough. LSU coach on. So that's a big piece of it. And then basically what they're looking at to respond. It's going to be a home game for Wisconsin, the 3 seed in the second game there. I kind of like Iowa State in this one. As far as bracket goes, I will potentially pick Iowa State as an upset in the game theory bracket, just depending on where some of the percentages are coming in early. But But that's where I
Like,
lean. I'm very questionable on LSU with the traveling, with the coach being gone, and then a potential second round matchup with Wisconsin and
I
what
didn't
will
know about the
absolutely
coach.
be a home game for Wisconsin.
Yep. Well, thank you, Rotas. Appreciate that. That's my friend who I'm going out to see in LA, by the way.
Nice.
So pretty cool. Yeah. What up, bro? We're gonna have a good time. But anyway, we got a couple more games in this one. How about this? What about Wisconsin Colgate? You think it's just home game, like no chance for Colgate? Man, I don't know. That's tough for me. Yeah, I think everyone wants to talk Murray State right now. That's for sure. So do you want to talk about that one? I think people are itching to hear what you think on this one.
Sure.
I'm itching.
I would just say everything sets up incredibly favorable for Wisconsin.
I would agree if I had to think about it too much. But all right. Yep. This Eastern region. We started going through it a little bit. I mean, that Wyoming-Indiana game is going to be fascinating. We already talked about that for a second. But all right, what do you think? Murray State, San Francisco, these are two of like the teams that we talked a lot about this year.
Yes. Let me pull the numbers up. San Francisco.
East. Man, it's so hard. There's so much going on. This is crazy. It's -1.5 for San Fran. Wow. Fascinating one. San Fran favored over the what are they called? I don't even remember. But Murray State. Murray State like didn't lose in conference play, so that's just disrespectful. Yeah, I don't think Colgate's won. Yeah, Colgate hasn't won.
I like San Francisco here.
Wow.
I've got San Francisco -3.7.
All right, that's enough for me to hear. Love it. Love it. I mean, I think again, this is like one of these bias plays. Everyone's
Where's the location on this? Where's the location?
I got you.
That was that number was straight up neutral. Obviously, no.
Yes.
I don't expect either team to have massive advantages on the
in
a neutral
Indianapolis.
Site. Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm. So that might not that might help the is it the Shock? No, that's Wichita State. Man, why can't I remember the? Anyway, I'll look up.
I mean, it's a very close game for Murray State.
Murray State, yeah, it's close for Murray State.
Yeah, it's in Kentucky. It's very close.
That's gonna be very interesting. I mean, I still think.
I mean, no matter what I would adjust, I would still make this line 3.
Interesting.
For San
Racers,
Francisco.
that's it. Thank you, Coin. Thank you, Coin Coverage. Appreciate you. And Sean, thank you. But yeah, I don't love that conference for Murray State. So I get why they're getting the disrespect here. But I think it's going to be a very appealing underdog for people. A lot of people are going to pick them. Maybe not really even understand why they're the 7 instead of higher, and why the 10 might be favored. But yeah, that's going to be interestingly. Here's my take. It's going to be an interestingly unpopular upset in brackets. People are going to hear the story of these of Murray State. I keep wanting to say Shockers. What the hell? We talk about State. Oh. Yeah. Dude, my bracket brain is bad. I've got bracket brain. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I like San Fran a lot personally. I like that team a lot. They looked really good this season. One of the best mid-majors out there. Definitely going to give Murray State a run for their money. If they were plus points, it'd be an obvious no-brainer. That's the thing. That's why they're favored, because I think they should win.
Yeah. No, I definitely lean. I like the -1. I haven't locked it in yet, but I do like it. Who's the playing game here?
This is interesting.
Go ahead.
Wyoming, Indiana is the playing game in the East.
What's the other one? Who's going to play Alabama?
Who's going to play Alabama? It is up here. No, it's over here. Sorry. It's Rutgers, Notre Dame. Rutgers, Notre Dame.
Yeah. Got it. That one is fascinating to me.
That is a fascinating one. I mean, where's that one going to be? Oh, it's in Dayton. It's in Dayton. We know that. Okay, I'll have to look.
Yeah, it's in Dayton, and I give a little bit of edge to whoever wins the playing game, in terms of sim value, getting to play there twice. assuming it's the same location.
What do you mean?
Where's this? Actually, it's not the same location. That's why I
No,
have
they
it right.
travel. Right, they play the play-in
Right.
and then they travel
Where's this
because.
location? Is what I was trying to get at. Where's the
Oh,
Bama
oh,
game
oh,
going to be
oh,
played?
oh. My apologies. My apologies. Um, it is going to be on Friday. I only have one of the days open at a time. It's going to be in San Diego. Wow.
Okay.
That's San Diego.
Interesting.
Yeah. We're also seeing TCU Seton Hall there. We're also seeing Arizona play their play-in game winner, and we're seeing Texas Tech, Montana State is the 4 games in that pod.
Interesting.
We also
Texas
have the
Tech will be very
Greenville.
interesting to me just because they were the team that benefited the most in college basketball from playing at home.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to watch them and watch some of their betting lines. I think that they'll win games, but I think they might fail to cover spreads in this tournament.
That sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Let's see.
I still can't get over. I bet you right now, if you're into NFL all day, Tom Brady's moment is tanking. Everybody bought that thing thinking he was done. All Tom Brady collectibles are going to be on sale right now. If you wanted a Tom Brady collectible and missed it, this is your time. Go get a Tom Brady collectible because everyone's going to be like, dang, it's not the last one. It's not the last year. But anyway, all right. St. Mary's. We got a question from Will on St. Mary's. Let's talk about them. I don't even know if they're playing. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't have it up.
I'm gonna go do my plays and eat some dinner. That's the rest of my night, dude. That's it. I'm gonna make plays, eat dinner. They're playing the play-in game against the 12.
That's why I thought. That's why I haven't talked about them yet too much.
Yeah. I mean, could they go far? Probably. They're over here, right? They're playing that Wyoming, Indiana. They have a tough test. You're going to have a team that's already won a game in the tournament, technically. Both these teams have had improbable runs. Indiana was the Cinderella, couldn't get it done, but covered. I think it depends on the number. Indiana's going to scare me. Wyoming's going to scare me too. If St. Mary's favored against either of them, I'm going to be worried, and I'm probably going to want the points. And then they got to play UCLA, who obviously, made a hell of a run last year. And that's assuming UCLA beats Akron, who's looked pretty decent. I mean, knocked off Kent, knocked off Toledo too, right? Beat the top 3 seeds in that conference to get this bid. Not a joke of a team at all. St. Mary's got a tough path, and they got to beat Baylor if Baylor comes out, or North Carolina Marquette. It's wow.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Basically, what I've told you. For my simulations, there's betting value on Indiana at 3.5 or 3.
Yeah.
Make it up over 5.5 in this game. Indiana would be a pick'em or a slight favorite against St. Mary's as the 12 seed over the 5. In terms of the betting market, that game would likely open as a pick'em. If they played Wyoming, St. Mary's would be 4.5-point favorites. So
yeah, it's gonna be tough. I don't know. I really feel like I can give initial takes, and I put a clips in. Mostly that Mike's model has nice numbers on that I like a gut feel agree with, but I could end up cashing those out, hedging. I'll let everybody know what I'm doing. You all know my full 68 picks. We're gonna do every single one, but or however many we get, but. Not 68 over the whole thing. I don't know how many the tournament is. I wish I knew offhand. But we're definitely going to get the whole first, second round like we did. I think 16 over the weekend and 32 over the first 2 days. So yeah, that's 48. I'm not doing math right now. But anyway, 48
Houston.
games. Yeah.
I love Houston. Model's always been high on Houston. Makes them one of the top 4 teams in the country. So
if they play like they can, which they showed you today, they shut down a team everybody was super high on, that people had futures on, that people were excited about. This Memphis team is back. Not if you have to run into Houston. And they looking good. They handled their business against Tulane to get to the championship yesterday. They're legit. They have the talent. They have the coaching. They've been here before. They made the run last year. That makes them dangerous. I know it can be seen as hard to like make like back-to-back runs, but at the same time, if you fall short, it can be exactly what your program needs to make that final push. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if Houston is busting up a couple brackets a little bit here as a lower seed.
Yeah, I mean
All
that
Virginia
region is just
schools, wow.
incredible.
Yeah, this isn't a bad thing though. If they get healthy, if they can get a little bit healthy in the next 4 or 5 days, though, that's a serious break for these kids, and they look decent today. I think if anything, they might be getting healthier. That could be
Yeah.
dangerous. That is a big deal. That can get you an edge too. If you think that teams are going to get a little healthy and that they're better when healthy, you can find some nice edges, and the book could get me wrong about things.
Yeah, that's what you need to look out for with the two teams really in particular, in my opinion, they're both Texas schools. It's going to be Baylor and Houston.
Yeah.
Those are two teams that could get healthier throughout the tournament. Maybe unlikely on one of them, but the good
Yeah.
news is for them is, especially like on the Baylor side, they have a favorable road to get through the first weekend. And, once you start looking at getting through the first weekend, it's
Yeah.
10 days of time essentially from the last time they would have played.
Marquette or North Carolina isn't going to be a joke, but I mean, and definitely not against the spread. But I could definitely, assuming Baylor wins, right? Assuming we don't see a 16 seed upset here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love that Baylor fade in the second round. I'll tell you right now. You want to like clairvoyancy. You want to see ahead a little bit here. Baylor to fail to cover in the second round is going to hit. I'll tell you why. It's because they're going to be looking forward, right? They're going to probably get a 7 or 8 point line against either of those teams, probably 6.5, and they'll probably be totally fine winning by 2 or 3. And the fact of the matter is that both those teams can fight. So yeah, I think Baylor probably wins an unexpectedly close game. Oh, what? Wait. Webcams? Hot girls and
Get
boys?
spam.
Oh my God! How do I get involved? How do I get involved? Wait. Mike,
I had to get him out of there.
I didn't even get to take the link.
You can watch
What
the
the
replay.
hell, dude? Thank you.
Yeah, so that line will be interesting. You could be right depending on how the injury looks. I think the line will be closer to 7 in the second game, 7.5. I don't think it'll be down to 6, but we'll see.
You're right, but exactly. That's more value for me though. I love that. I love that that play. Yeah, Ryan, we're done. We're never finding love, bro. Or Mike's gonna keep us from love. What's wrong with people? That's a great question, Rebecca. I don't understand how those spam bots have the efficacy to continue warrant funding. Like they must get some people. And hey, yeah, that's what that guy was just advertising for us. So anyway, I don't know. I'm pretty good for right now. I'm gonna go, like I said, probably dive deeper, Mike. I think we'll probably fire something up tomorrow. I know Mike. We'll be around.
Mega preview on Sportsline Early Edge. My bracket will be up on the website tonight. So optimal bracket for my model will be up there, and it's gonna be a fun week of content. Chief is fired up.
This felt like 5 minutes. First of all, I feel like we were talking for like 25 minutes. It's been an hour and 5. So thank you to everybody who's rocking with us tonight. It's a great day. I'll have some stuff out on the Discord, and we'll see you guys next time.
See you soon.